All right. So good morning. Oh, one thing I want to do before we get started. That might make a bit of a difference. So let's start in a comfortable sitting position. And once you get comfortable, closing your eyes so that you can bring your awareness and attention inward. And begin to feel the inhalation and exhalation of your breath. With each inhalation, noticing how the body expands, not just in the torso, the expansion that naturally happens on the inhale. And as you exhale, feel a sense of releasing tension and settling deeper into the position that you're in. Expansion and release with each breath. Now bringing your awareness to the foundation of your sitting posture, to your feet and your legs in the hip area. Making any minor adjustments. That you feel relaxed in the base of your body. In the Yoga Sutras, it's mentioned two words which are helpful when we come to our yoga practice. The balance between effort and ease. As you bring your awareness to the abdomen, see if you can find this balance between engagement that provides stability for you to sit tall and upright, and a sense of ease and relaxation. Where you can engage the muscles and where to relax. Relaxing in your shoulders, your neck area. Relaxing the facial muscles. And feel breath at your nostrils. Feel breath coming into the nostrils and exiting the nostrils. And as you're ready, gently opening the eyes. And we'll begin with stretching the spine. Let's interlock our hands, palms facing upward to the sky. Inhale, reaching upward, stretching the spine and the arms. Exhale, release. Move with your breath. One more time. And then release. And now let's lift the shoulders up to the ears. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release the shoulders down. Move with your breath. Good, and now let's roll the shoulders up, then press the shoulder blades together, and then let them slide down the spine. Shoulders lift up to the ears, shoulder blades press together at the back of the heart, and slide down the spine. A nice fluid movement combined with your breathing. And then the opposite direction. One more time. Good. Let's wake up our hands and fingers. We're going to reach the arms outward and we're going to press the thumbs together, make a fist, and stretch the fingers out. And do it quickly. We want to energize the fingers and the muscles of the arms. And rest. And notice what you feel. Interlocking your hands. Palms can face towards you, harder is away from you. And circling the arms. Whatever pace suits you. And then let's switch directions. And then relax. Let's bring both hands over the right thigh and make a circle over the right thigh. Whatever range is possible. Noticing the loosening. Gentle movements to loosen the major muscles. Opposite direction. And then rest and pause, take a breath, and switch sides. Waking up gently, all the major muscles and joints of the body, and warming them. Opposite direction. Good. So next we'll move into the hip area. So we will bring the soles of the feet together, and whatever pace of movement suits you, the knees moving up and down. Butterfly pose. And paying attention to what you feel around the hip joint, where your leg attaches into the hip socket. Sometimes with these movements, you might feel a heat or warming sensation, and this is the blood circulation flowing into that area. So now let's do it one leg at a time. So your right foot can come against the thigh, or it can be on top of the thigh, depending on your flexibility. And again, the knee moving up and down. You can stay in this position if you'd like to make it more challenging. You can reach your left arm up, lean forward, maybe up to hold somewhere on your leg or your foot, and keep moving the right knee up and down. There's always options to modify yoga poses to make them easier or to make them more challenging, depending on how you feel and the ability of everyone who's in class. So if you're holding on to your toes or your foot, you'll reach the left arm upward to the sky and then relax your left arm. And now let's switch sides. So we are bending our left knee, foot against the thigh or on top of the thigh, moving the knee up and down. So we're isolating the movement into the left hip joint. And then some of you might want to add the right arm and hand by reaching forward, but that's an option, only if you wish. And staying present to what you feel and to your breath, which is the hardest part of yoga, is the mental concentration, where our mind isn't wandering somewhere else. And if you're reaching forward, you'll reach the right arm up to the sky and relax down. And now we're going to roll onto our backs and continue with energizing the feet and legs and the lower body. Let's extend our right leg up to the sky. You can hold the back of the right leg or your arms can relax. We're going to point and flex. Point the toes up, lift the heel up. Whatever range is possible for you, and noticing what you feel when you lift your heel up and when you point your toes up. So now we're going to change it to a circular movement, nourishing the ankle joint. And in both directions. And then relax your foot, and you can either hold on to the back of the leg and draw the leg closer, or you might want to reach for your toes to hold the leg. Whatever allows you to feel comfortable and find ease, making sure that we're not straining or over efforting. In whatever position you're in, you can close your eyes if that's helpful, and let's count 5 breaths. After the 5th breath, we'll let the right foot come to the floor, and we'll do the same with the left leg and foot. So we're going to start with pointing and flexing, toes pointing upward, heel lifting upward. And really feeling what this movement does, where you feel it, what's going on. Moving into a circular movement. Both directions. You can relax the foot, hold on to your leg and draw it closer, or maybe you'll reach towards your foot. Whatever allows you to be in this position without strain. And then we'll count our breath, counting to 5. After the 5th breath, we'll release the leg down. So next we're going to work with our back, our low back. So knees to the chest. If that doesn't work for your abdomen, the knees can be apart. And we'll just roll from one side to the other and feel into the back, and especially the low back. And creating gentle pressure, which acts like a massage. And now we'll move into some twisting movements. So bringing your feet to the floor, opening your arms wide, knees and feet together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale the knees to the right side and turn your head to look towards your left fingers. On the inhale, come back to center, and on the exhale to the left side, head looking towards your right fingers. You're going to move with your breathing from one side to the other. twisting on the exhale of your breath. And then next time you come to the right side, we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Breathing into the left side of your body. The left rib cage, the left shoulder area. And after the 5th breath, press your knees together, coming back to center. And now coming to the other side, where the knees are on the left side, you're looking towards your right fingertips. And you're breathing into the right rib cage, right chest and shoulder area. Right hand and fingers. And counting 5 breaths. And then coming back into center. And we'll do one more twist. Twists are really beneficial for the spine and back. This one will be with the feet apart on the floor. Arms can stay as they are. Knees move to the right side, head turns to the left. As you breathe in, the knees back to center, and exhale to the other side. Moving with your breathing and at your own pace. And the next time the knees are on the right side, we're going to stay here. And you're going to focus on your left knee, getting heavier as you release the left knee towards the ground. It might not touch, it might be far away from the ground, but that's the orientation. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then bringing both knees back to center, coming to the other side, both knees to the left side, and the right knee is what we tune into as it gets heavier and releases towards the ground. And 3 breaths. And then coming back into center. So next we're gonna do some work with the pelvis. So engage your pelvic muscles and press your low back into the ground. And then tip the pelvis in the opposite direction, so you're creating a curve where you could slide your hand underneath your low back. And then the opposite, you're going to tilt your pelvis, engaging your pelvis muscles, flattening your low back, and then tipping the pelvis in the opposite direction. So we're isolating a movement in the pelvis, engaging the pelvis muscles. These are the muscles between the hip bones. And we're rocking. And you'll feel this as a pressing of the low back into the floor, and then a lifting of the low back away from the floor. One more time. So now we'll come into a neutral position where we're neither pressing nor lifting. We're going to tighten the pelvic muscles and lift the pelvis upward. On the exhale, lower the pelvis down. Inhale, lift. And when you lower, see if you can lower the spine sequentially so that you're touching the low back down before you fully release. And just continue this movement, lifting and lowering. And if you'd like, you can continue to lift and lower, or you can come into this as a pose where you're holding the pelvis lifted. Make sure you're not holding the breath. And then lowering the pelvis down. And take a moment just to completely relax the pelvis, the buttocks, the legs. And next, you're going to grab some support. So a pillow or a folded blanket, or maybe you have a bolster. And you're going to place it underneath of the pelvis and extend your legs upward. So in this position, we're going to allow for blood and lymphatic fluid to drain, and it will be very refreshing for the legs and the pelvis. If you'd like, your arms can reach to the floor behind you. If it's too much for the shoulders, you can widen your arms. We're going to stay in this position for about a minute. If you'd like, you can count your breath. I find that a minute is roughly 10 breaths. Notice how the body expands on your inhale and that sense of release on the exhale. Where is the body expanding? Where can you release? So if your arms are up overhead, you can bring your arms back beside the body. You can wiggle your toes or move your feet a little bit. And if you're ready to transition out of this pose, we'll gently allow each foot to come to the floor. Lift the pelvis and remove the support underneath and gently lower the pelvis down. And take a moment just to pause and to breathe. And then let's roll onto our sides and come up onto the hands and knees. So we're gonna move into our cat pose, extending the spine, looking up with your eyes, taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, sinking back to the heels, chest towards your thighs, head towards the ground. And if this variation doesn't work, you can always round the spine in this way. So you can choose. Either option works, extending as you look upward, heart reaching forward. And on the exhale, whatever option works best for you. Move with the impulse of your breathing. One more time. So we're going to come into a neutral position for the spine and prepare ourselves for a downward facing dog. First by stretching the shoulders. Right hand forward, left forearm across. We're going to rest our forehead on the left forearm and then slide or walk your right hand forward a little more as you lean the sit bones back. Slow, deep breathing. As you feel the stretch and lengthening of the right side of your body. Then we'll slide back towards our heels and find our way back into a neutral position in your own time. And we'll prepare for the other side. Left hand forward, right forearm across. And then you're reaching that left hand forward as you lean your weight back. And then a slow and relaxed breathing as you stretch through the left side of the body. And then slide back to the heels. And take a moment to rest. And come back into neutral. So now both arms at the same time, reaching forward. We're still on our knees. And we're still just isolating the spine and the upper part of the back. Forehead can touch the ground, or maybe it hovers a few inches off the ground as you lean your sit bones back and stretch the spine. And then slide back to the heels. And now back on to the hands and knees. And now if you feel ready, you can come into the regular version of downward dog or any of the variations we just did. And if you are in the regular version of downward dog, you can pedal the feet or you can be static, whatever works best for you. And let's take a few slow, deep breaths. Think of pressing the floor away from you. Then when you're ready, you're going to walk your hands towards your feet. If you're doing a different variation of downward dog, you'll make your way into a standing forward bend where you're steady on your feet, arms and upper body are relaxed, head relaxed. And let's take a few deep breaths here. And then slowly roll up into standing. Press your feet into the floor and draw the abdomen in to support your back as you feel the spine unravel. And last to come up is the head. And then here we are in standing. Take a moment just to feel your body from the inside and notice how it feels. So we're going to do toe walking and heel walking. Actually, you can wear your socks, and this is really energizing. It will heat up the body, speed up your heartbeat. It might even quicken your breath. So how we do toe walking? Toe walking comes from level 1 of yoga and daily life exercises. You're going to reach your arms up to the sky, lift your heels up, and you're going to walk on your toes. And you're going to take about 20 or 30 steps. And keep reaching your arms upward as you're walking around with your heels lifted. If you get tired, you can always drop the heels and rest. Resting is always an option. There's a balance between effort and over-efforting, and we want to be on the side of easeful effort, rather than over-efforting. So you're going to make your way back to the center of your mat, drop your heels, relax your arms, and take a few moments just to notice what you feel. Toe walking is followed by heel walking. It's a little harder. We do the same thing with the arms and the hands, but we lift our toes and we walk on our heels. I notice that my steps are a little bit smaller when I do heel walking, but you're going to do the same thing, about 20 or 30 steps, walking around your room or around your mat. Again, if you find you're out of breath and you need to rest, you can always rest. Feet have a lot of nerve endings, so it's really stimulating to the nervous system when we walk on our heels or when we work with the feet. So you're going to make your way back into center and then allow your toes to relax down and allow your arms to relax down, and take a few deep breaths. Toe walking and heel walking. So let's do some leg strengthening here while we're in standing. I recommend coming to the wall so that you have some support. And we're just going to shift our weight to our left leg and lift our right knee. And if you can not use the wall, then you can use both hands to hold on to your right knee. And here we're strengthening the left foot and the left leg. So it can be helpful to be close to a wall just in case you lose your balance. And then let's try the other side. So shifting your weight to your right foot and leg, lifting your left knee, holding on with one or both hands, and just noticing the strength as you draw the energy down into your right leg. You're going to try that a few times. So just find a way to alternate, practicing standing on one leg, and really feel that standing leg and think of sending energy down to create stability. As you also send energy up, using oppositional forces. Making sure you do an equal number on both sides. So next we're going to do another kind of balance, again, really good for strengthening the leg and the hip area. You might want to be close to a wall. You're going to shift your weight onto your left foot and leg, and you're going to lift the right leg back as you lean the body forward. So let's do that a few times. Your body is coming forward as you lift the right leg back. And if you need to use the wall, you can. And then let's try the other side. So shifting your weight onto your right foot, and now you're gonna lean your body forward as you lift the left leg back. And think of your body being one piece. One part comes forward, the other leans back or lifts up. And you're just trying a few times. Good, and coming back into center. So we've done this one before. We haven't done it for a while. It's the hip clock or hip circle. You imagine you're standing in the center and around you is a clock, and we're going to shift our weight to our right leg, and we're going to touch our left toes to 12 o'clock, and then our left toes will move outward to 9 o'clock and backward to 6 o'clock and over and across to 3 o'clock, and then come back to where you're standing. And we switch sides. So you're bending your knee and toe is reaching to 12 o'clock, then 3 o'clock. Again, you can use the wall to help you. Behind you to 6 o'clock. This one is always hard for me. And then over and across to 9 o'clock and back. And let's try 2 more times on both sides. You can go at your own pace, and we're bringing weight into different parts of the hip joint to strengthen the hip joint. So weight bearing. You might find it's easier on one side than the other. That's quite typical because we often have one side of the body that is stronger or weaker. And you also might find there's certain parts that are harder, and that's okay too. Good. So now we're going to shift to the upper part of the body, and we'll do some side bending. Interlock your hands, reaching upward, bending to the left side, stretching the right side of the body. And coming back to center, bending to the right side, stretching the left side of the body. And coming back to center, releasing your arms. So we're going to do a movement that we often do, but it's going to be a little bit different today. We're going to slow it down. So palms facing front. Inhale, lift to shoulder height. Exhale, cross over the crown of the head. Inhale to shoulder height. Exhale, down. See if you can slow down your breathing and allow for the pauses between your breath. Work with your own breath. One more time. And then close your eyes and just notice what you feel. I often find with these ones, I am standing taller and I feel a little broader in the heart and lung area. And then open your eyes. So let's come down into a squat, and you can use a prop with your squat. I need a little bit of help. So I'm going to use this cushion here, and you can place a little bit of support underneath of your heels or also underneath of your sit bones. So however you're able to come into a squat so that you can be comfortable in a squat. And we're going to do a movement in our squat today. So we're going to reach the arms outward, palms together, and press your knees into the elbows. Drop your head. Exhale, we're rounding the spine, kind of like cat pose. Inhale, we're going to bring the palms towards us, press the elbows outward, knees moving outward, looking upward. Exhale, pressing the knees in, arms extending, lowering the head. Inhale. Palms in, knees out, and just move a few times. Next time you come with the palms in, we'll stay here for a few breaths. Good. We're going to come out of our squat and transition into a leg stretch. So extend your right leg, bring your left heel in towards you. I'm sorry that the mat is a dark color and you might not be able to see what I'm doing, but you'll turn your torso over the right leg and then walk it forward. And sometimes it's enough of a stretch to sit tall. Some people have more flexibility that they can lean forward. What's most important is that you find a way to do the pose for yourself and what works for your body. Now let's take a few more breaths. And then slowly roll up. We're going to switch sides, extending our left leg, right heel inward, turning our body over that left leg, and then leaning or walking forward, finding a way for you to stretch the back of the leg and the back area. And slowly coming up. We're going to do a seated twist next. So you can come into a comfortable position for your legs. And we'll bring the left hand behind, and then we're going to turn over to the left side. And your eyes can look over the left shoulder. And you can use your right hand to add a little bit of help. Noticing this twist for the back and the abdomen, the neck, eyes. And then unwinding. Just notice how it feels to come out of a pose. And then the other side. And there's always ways that you can gently come into a pose. Some days we might feel inspired to effort more. And some days it makes sense to effort less. So we're turning and twisting to the right side, maybe using your left hand to help. Noticing what you feel in the spine and the back. And then unwind and release. We're going to end with a breathing exercise. It's breathing through each of the nostrils. If you'd like to skip it, you can always come into relaxation. But sitting comfortably, using your right hand, you're going to place 2 fingers just above the middle of the eyebrows. Your thumb is going to close the right nostril, and you're going to breathe in and out through the left nostril. Slow breaths without rushing. You're breathing in and out through the left nostril. Keep your focus and attention on breathing in and out through the left nostril. Take 3 more breaths. After the 3rd breath, relax your hand. And see if you notice any subtle changes in your brain. Left nostril breathing is associated with the parasympathetic nervous system. Right nostril is associated with the sympathetic nervous system. Now we'll do breathing with the right nostril. You can use your left hand, 2 fingers above the middle of the eyebrows, thumb closing the left nostril and breathing in and out through the right side. Breathing in and out through the right nostril and focusing your attention on breath coming in and out through the nostril. And 3 more breaths. After the 3rd breath, relax your hand. You can stay in a seated posture for meditation, or you can lie down on your back, whatever works best for you. whatever position you're in, we're going to do the same visualization. Getting comfortable, feeling the flow of in-breath and out-breath. Spring is a time of renewal. So we're going to breathe in this renewing energy, this spring energy, renewing our cells, renewing our organs, renewing our energy and our health. Just visualize breathing in spring and a renewal happening inside of your body. Cells, organs, glands, coming alive. Renewal in your heart, hope. Renewal in your brain. Whole body renewing itself with the energy of spring, blessing from Mother Earth. And then let go of this visualization and just be present with what you feel inside of yourself. Gently beginning to wake up your fingers and your toes if you're lying down. Deepening your breath as you stretch the body in whatever way feels natural, whether you're lying down or sitting. And if you're lying down, you'll eventually find your way into sitting. And we'll end with the divine light invocation. Some of you know the mudras. You can join me with the mudras. We can start with thumb and index finger together, repeating internally or out loud. I am created by divine light. Hands at your heart. I am sustained by divine light. Making a motion around you. I am surrounded by divine light. One hand on the opposite shoulder. I am protected by divine light. Lotus Mudra. Pinkies together, thumbs together, fingers stretched outward. I am ever growing into divine light. Let's say it one more time. You can do the mudras. I won't give as much explanation. I am created by divine light. I am sustained by divine light. I am surrounded by divine light. I am protected by divine light. I am ever growing into divine light. And gently opening your eyes. Thank you for joining me on this lovely Sunday morning. So nice to see all of you.
Thank you, Clara.
You're welcome.
That was a wonderful